What's up, everybody? My name is George, and you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. It is 8:05 East Coast time here in USA. March 6, 2025. It's already March. I was complaining that January is like 3 years long this year. But, hey, man, we got Dakota. He's backstage right now. He's here to promote his Kickstarter, The Hunter. Wow. I know you guys seen the pictures. It looks great. I'm a comic book fan, so for all you comic book people out there, and for you guys who like to support artists and creators, tonight's the night for you. You're gonna be going around and playing some stuff, supporting, we're checking out the comments. Already in the comments, one collector down, man. Thank you for stopping by, my brother. Check him out. Please support the channel. You support him, he supports us. We all grow, man. It's like fungus. Touch each other, and it's all over the place. You can't stop it. Once again, my name is George, and you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. We're just letting the room fill up. Dance floor is open. Ladies and gentlemen, the dance floor is open. The dance floor is open. Just move on in. Move on in. We're going to have a good time tonight, man. You're going to see how good this guy knows his comic book trivia. You know, this guy comes to town. He's like, yeah, man, I'm promoting my stuff. You're going to see he knows what he knows about comic books. But, hey, I'm going to play one more thing for you. You're going to pay the bills. I'm going to get this ad out of the way. And then we'll be back with Dakota. My man's all the way from Japan. Yeah, man. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what date it is. No, it's the future. If he's in Japan right now, I think that's the future, right? Fuck yeah. Oh, there you go. I touched. I waited for the algorithm. Give me a couple of minutes. You're listening to my band in the background, Dirty Toys. Enough about plugs. I'm just going to play this ad real quick, and then I'm going to bring my man up. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
All right. You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to have all the way from Japan. He's been waiting patiently backstage. I think your mic is. Oh, I got you. There you go. There you go. Dakota, can you hear me?
Yeah, baby.
Sorry, man. How you doing, brother? Thank you for being here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dakota all the way from Japan. Where in Japan are you?
I am in Gifu, Japan. If you want, I'll show you exactly where I drew a map.
You drew a map? Okay.
Well, I didn't draw a map. I drew a circle on a map. Give me like 2 seconds. I'll show you right now.
Awesome.
I am in the dead center. I'm a bullseye. There you go.
Oh, okay. Here it goes. Look at this. Learning on the 757 Hustle Show. There's going to be a test afterwards. So everybody pay attention.
Everyone pay attention. This is important information. Japan definitely exists. It's a place.
I love it.
In answer to your question earlier, you were saying what time is in Japan? It is March 7th, 10:09 a.m. That's Friday. We're about to enter into the weekend.
So you're already TGIFing, right? Did they celebrate?
This is how I ring in my weekend right now on the hustle. I bring that sucker in like that.
Keep that map up. I'll bring that map up. But I just want to ask you something. I don't want it to be rude or anything, but are you originally from Japan?
No. I'm originally from Santa Cruz, California.
Okay, Santa Cruz, California. So how long you been in Japan for?
This year will be 19 years in fall. I came
19
in the
years.
fall of 2006. And yeah, never really left the area either. It's not like I bounced around or anything. I pretty much just stayed here the whole time.
Yeah, I just said, look, we got my man Dakota from the future talking to us. Awesome.
That's right.
One collection down, man. He's a great YouTuber for part of the Commonville community.
Nice. Yeah. When people have their birthdays, I'm on that because Facebook's like, it's their birthday. When in actuality, it's actually the day before where they are half the time. So I just jump on that. I'm like, happy birthday from
the first one, right?
The future.
So 19 years. What brought you to Japan? You be on the run or something?
Yeah, right. No, yeah. People were like, you were getting away, right? You know what I'm saying? No, it was absolutely random. So let's see, it was 2000 and probably about 2004. I was just doing my thing. I was in a band, just working a couple of jobs, just hanging in there, just kind of rocking out. I was in my mid-20s.
Awesome. What type of music? Hold on. I don't let people talk. You tell me something interesting, I'm going to point it out. What type of band were you in?
All right. At the time, I was in a ska punk band.
Ska punk band?
I was the drummer, yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. You see the electric kit?
I did, yeah. No, and I saw a picture of your band. Yeah. And the footage with Guar, which is awesome. I saw them.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was funny. Yo, I tell you, that clip, he was choking me out hard. I'm not exaggerating. I went up there and I was like, "Hey guys, can I do a little quick promo?" They're like, "Yeah," and then I just totally did the poison bit on them.
Really? That's an
that wasn't scripted. No, that wasn't scripted at all. I totally went in there and they're like, "Hey, can I just do a quick 757 hustle show bit?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then I was like, "I'm here with the band Poison," and they're like, "Hey," that was real. And then he started choking me. The guy literally was choking me. I'll play it later, but you'll see
too. Yeah, big guy.
So the second time I was like, I'm here with the band Vixen. And for those who don't know, first of all, Poison is a band in the 80s, Unskinny Bob, Fallen Angel, those guys, hair metal band. And they used to dress like girls on the first album, makeup and everything. So for me to call Guar Poison, it was just, trolling them in public. And then I called them Vixen, which is an all-female heavy metal band. But that was awesome. They were cool. And you saw the minute I say, "Hey, I'm hanging out with Guar," then I was joking around. But
yeah.
Hey man, we're gonna go through. We're gonna see. We got some people in the comments dropping by. Thank you. One collection down's here. Hey everyone. Yeah. We're in the future. We got Dakota all the way from Japan. Maybe he could give us the lotto numbers or something like that.
That's a new one. That's a new one. I like that. I'm gonna remember
a lot of numbers from Japan. Make sure they're in English though. Lisa Noble. Hey, Lisa's here. We got two New Yorkers watching us. Look at that. Look at this comic book community on this show. They look how nice they are to each other. One collection down saying hi, Lisa. Lisa Noble saying hey, one collection down. How peaceful is that? Anyway. Hey, my name is George. You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. If you're just joining us, we have Dakota all the way from Japan. And the reason why Dakota's here is because he owes people money. No, the reason why Dakota's here, he's promoting a Kickstarter. Awesome. I saw this thing, man. I saw this. I was just scrolling and I was like, what is this? Do I own this comic book? I've never seen this before, and then the retro look and everything. And it just caught me. And I was like, oh, this is a Kickstarter. So I'm going to mention more to the Kickstarter, but he's got some project that is going to blow you away. And it's not just a regular digital comic book. And this is what sold me. I'm going to say that for a little bit. So if you're in the comments, drop us a hi, say a hello. Just remember, Dakota's all the way from Japan. No need to translate. His English is very good, very well. How is your Japanese?
My Japanese is pretty good.
It's pretty good?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you ask me to write out a whole bunch of kanji, I'm going to struggle a little bit, but Japanese is fine.
Yeah, I remember I busted my ass. I was telling my wife earlier because it's been 2 years and we're forgetting our Japanese already. Everything I learned, I loved it. My stepson he was stationed in the Navy and he was 2 hours, 3 hours. His base was 3 hours outside of Tokyo somewhere. So we were like really
probably right.
So we were living, we were out living public life, And every day I would go to. First of all, I did a video on this too. The 7-Elevens in Japan, you can literally live there off of the 7. You can live off any grocery store off of Japan, you know. And I was walking in, you know, was it Origato gozaimasu, and I was, you know, practicing all, you know, everything. It was great, man. I loved it. My wife and I could not stop talking about Japan. Got back to the States. You just couldn't believe how much, you know, people are like, well, if you love it so much, why don't you move there? I said, you know what? If I could, I would. You know what I'm saying? If it was an option for me, you know, yeah, they got the whole, you know, tsunami and the earthquake future thing they keep talking about. But but I loved it. I loved it. Hey, man, we got more people in the comments. You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. We got Dakota here promoting his Kickstarter, The Hunter.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Konnichiwa. Okay, we got Pierre. Hey, all. Hey, Pierre Kelly. Thanks for stopping by. Pierre, where are you from again? Are you from England, Scotland? I don't remember. Around the corner, stalking? I don't remember. Lisa Nova. Hey, Pierre. Oh, this guy right here. Konnichiwa, bitches. My man, Razor Comics. Folks, for all you don't know, a little plug right now. I will be, the 757 Hustle Show will be in Phoenix, Arizona next week. And I will be getting in touch, hopefully touching also Razor from Razor Comics. So tune into that. Pierre Kelly, look at that. We got Tennessee. Razor is from Arizona. Dakota is from Japan. My mom is from Colombia, so I'm half Colombian. Is there a big American community over there?
You know, I would probably say that the American community and the Canadian community and the British community and the Australian community, like, it's pretty much about the same. So we tend to just kind of hang in what we call like the foreigner community, you know, people, which is really awesome because for one thing, you know, I've met more Brits than I ever have in my entire life, more Aussies than I ever have in my entire life, more Canadians than I ever have in my entire life. And there's so much that you can learn about, you know, other countries, other cultures. It's a big old melting pot for us because, you know, we're all just here kind of doing our thing and we never would have met each other in any other capacity probably. So that's pretty amazing. I met some of my best friends over here. Definitely.
That's awesome. We stayed in Tokyo at the Godzilla hotel.
Oh, I am not familiar with the Godzilla hotel. Please tell me more.
Yeah, it's in the center of Tokyo. It's a movie theater. I forgot the building, and it's a hotel, and it's got the big Godzilla that goes like every. Hold on, I think I got the thing right here.
Is it a like a plastic statue, or is it that one that looks like a tree?
No. This is a monster. This guy is like building.
On the roof?
Yeah, on the roof. Yeah. And he lights up.
Okay. All right. We got lots of, you know, like there's like a gigantic Gundam, and then like in other places there's like an idea. So it's like it's hard for me to like
copy that.
They show you the statue, but they don't give you the context of what's going on around it.
You know, bro, I was so excited. I was like a little kid in a toy store in Japan. We went to see that guy. My wife said, "Look, you know, I want to spoil you," and because I had to drag your ass all the way to Japan to deal with my son. But anyway, that's another episode. But got to Japan. We stayed at his place. We took the train into Tokyo. So for those who don't know, when I went to Japan had just opened up after COVID. So this was like maybe the second week after Japan opened its doors to tourism again.
Oh God, that would have been
2 years. It was 2 years, 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah.
First time I actually was able to go home for Christmas too. Exactly.
And it was Golden Week. For the Golden Week is like their whole like Mardi Gras basically, or New Year's.
No. Well, no. I mean, not. I'm trying. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt like that. Golden Week. What you get in Japan is you get, you know, a lot of national holidays and two major national holiday periods where they have like a consecutive number of holidays kind of crunched together. One is Golden Week, and the other one, and that is in the beginning of May or middle of May. It starts around the 5th.
Yeah, that's the Children's
Day. The other one is in August, But they're all connected around like a couple of national holidays. And what tourism did was they got in touch, Japanese government expanded it so that it would invest in domestic tourism years and years ago.
So you get to Japan. When you're in Japan, when you're drumming, you're in a ska band, so you're playing that double time beat, right? You know what I'm saying? You're playing fast. You're playing ska music. You had horns in the band and everything?
No, ska punk. We were like your basic setup.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Awesome. So were you already drawing, illustrating? I mean, what do you call it? What do you say? You're sketching, you're drawing, you're
so when I really got into drawing, and I mean drawing comic characters, probably about 8 until about close to the end of high school. And then around the end of high school, like I just started partying all the time. And that's pretty much it. I was into music, a lot of punk rock, a lot of ska, things like that, hip hop. And I was just hitting up shows and running around and having a good time. And it wasn't until I came to Japan and had been here for a long time, about 2013, that I really picked up the pencil and started drawing again. I drew a picture for a friend for his birthday. And I was like, oh, wow. I haven't drawn for like 15 years. And I'm still able to do it. That's pretty amazing. And I just jumped into it, got into Photoshop a couple years later, and then everything just like shot up. Because that's just a game changer, being able to produce the final product that you can when you integrate like Photoshop into it.
So
and that was it.
A lot of people, when Photoshop first came out and all that stuff came out, people were complaining about it. Now everybody uses it. Everybody's complaining about AI. It's eventually going to be a tool. You know what I'm saying? Like when the years and years, you just gotta look at it. What works for you works for you. What doesn't work for you, what doesn't work with you. I know I don't want to get into the argument of like that's not art. It's a tool. Whatever you choose to use, art is whatever you view it as, not what I want you to view it as. You know what I'm saying? So, but so with that being said, were you into comic books already?
Oh yeah. But again, like. I probably stopped reading regularly around the same time that I started partying regularly, because you're like, well, where's the money gonna go?
Yeah.
Some people were always really good. They're always just like, no, I can do both, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
But and then I get over here, but I mean, I had amassed like a really solid collection by that point. Like a couple thousand books and whatnot. From getting into comics from about, age 5 or 6 to, my late teens. I was still collecting very regularly up until that time. So
what was your thing? What was your thing to collect? Like,
Well, I mean, as okay, let me, it's like when you're a little kid, you gravitate towards certain things, you get a little bit older. And then also, so I was born in 79, right? Start collecting mid 80s. So I had subscriptions to Amazing Spider-Man, which started on Amazing Spider-Man 299. So like one of my first books that came in the mail was Spider-Man 300.
Nice.
I was into X-Men, and I got my subscription right around the time of Fall of the Mutants. And I just kept those 2 books going for a real long time, right? And I love McFarlane. And when he moved on to the regular Spider-Man title, I moved with them. When Jim Lee joined up, I was a huge fan of that. When those guys moved to Image, I went to Image, because I went where the art was.
I didn't go to Image. I feel bad. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I think I'm a couple of years older than you, but I was the same way. I was in there collecting the same way. I was there, I was there for when McFarlane first, was doing the Hulk and everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His he was doing, crazy ass Rick Jones with the hair, and everything. So I was there. Yeah. And I was there for, I was blown away. People don't get, these guys were freaking rock stars, man.
That's right.
These guys were
game changers. Absolutely.
Yeah. These guys were on MTV. When do you see a guy right now drawing a cartoon, a guy in spandex, on MTV? These guys were doing Levi commercials.
That's
You know,
true.
life,
That's true.
life,
Rob
right?
Liefeld did the buttonfly. Yeah,
The
that's
butterfly.
right.
What cartoon? You know what I'm saying? Dakota, you better get your ass out there and be making me some goddamn blue jeans. You know, I know I'm not a huge channel, but if you freaking start promoting blue jeans, I think, you know, and art, I think we got a thing though. Hey man,
Remember that? That used to be like the joke, right? When someone was selling out, they'd be like selling like blue jeans or something like that. Right? We used to talk like that. It's like, what are you gonna be doing? Like selling blue jeans next? Get out of here. Go F yourself. Get out of here.
If you don't look good in your 501 blues, then nobody does.
Oh my God. Oh man, it is all coming back now. This is awesome. Yeah. I'm having a good old time with this.
So okay, so you're in Japan, you're drumming, you're gigging, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't drumming when I came to Japan. I was drumming when I decided to come to Japan.
Got you. Oh, okay. All right.
But I have joined bands since coming to Japan, quite a few actually. But I'm not in any bands now. Like I quit a few years ago.
Do you miss it?
I do. But I got on the kit. It was around my birthday, and I was pretty hammered at the time. And I got on the kit, and I just absolutely just sucked. And I've been self-conscious. Like pick up the 6 ever since. I'm like, oh, is this gonna be suck? Oh, I don't want to embarrass myself again.
That's fun.
But I quit because I had we had a kid. Me and my wife had a kid.
Fucking kids, man. I'm telling you.
I couldn't be away, you know, like
look at that. Can't play drums, can't buy comic books. Nah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is hard to buy comic books though.
How many kids do you have?
Just the one.
Just one?
Yeah. He's 7.
7 years old?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Is he Japanese? Have Japanese, have American, or is he
Yes, my wife is Japanese. That's correct.
That's awesome, man. How's that work with citizenship? I'm not gonna get to that. I'm just always curious about stuff like that. Yeah. Do you have dual citizenship still, or?
Well, the way dual citizenship works is like, you know, like for example, up until recently, who the hell knows, but America recognized 2 passports, and they just always allowed, you know, people from certain countries to have 2 passports if they had for example, I don't think you needed to get a visa to come to Japan for a tourist. Like it wasn't anything like super difficult to do, right? You know, because Japan and America has that connection, has that relationship.
Yeah, they're very friends.
In Japan, though, when you are 20 years old, if you have that dual citizenship, Japan will send you a letter asking you to choose. And, you know, it sounds like a big deal, but for everyone I've talked to, they're like, hey, you just don't answer the letter. And then it's just like,
I get it.
They don't like follow up on that. All right.
It's like when I left New York and I moved to Virginia, it took me a long time before I gave up my New York driver's license. I just couldn't give it up. It was killing me. It was like, give me your New York card. Hey, Lisa Noble in the comments says only one kid means you got it right the first time. So that might be right, Lisa.
Thank you for that.
Or maybe he doesn't care about the other kids he left it. Maybe. Who knows? It's Japan, man. Yo, you know what blew on my mind away? I know I just got to keep talking about Japan real quick. My wife and I would be out there in the morning, you know, drinking coffee, seeing these little kids. I'm talking about 6-year-olds walking by themselves in the city, going to school.
Right.
We were blown away, man. We were just blown away by everything, like the no drinking and walking at the same time. You know, in Tokyo, there's a lot of signs everywhere where they want you like stationary. They don't want you walking like, you know, like they don't want you New York City style subways, or, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody with their big, you know,
but they have there's no open container law in Japan.
Correct. Yeah. You can bust that. You can just walk out of the 7-Eleven and they got benches everywhere. Some of them. And what was the other one? It was 7-Eleven. There was the other chain that was around, and they had
Family Mart.
Yes,
correct. And Lawson are the big ones.
We were in what's the city in the south? Osaka.
Directly south of Tokyo,
Yokohama. That's we were. Where did we go? Okay, so we flew into Tokyo like everybody, right?
Aren't you glad I brought this map?
This is amazing. Look at this.
You went to Osaka, what you would have gone to is you've gone to the east, and if you look over there, you see Kyoto, and right below that is Hyogo, and there's that little, in the yellow part, there's that little kind of inlet bay there. That's around where Osaka is.
Yes, that's where we were. The other city where there were, yeah, we were there. We were supposed to go to Kyoto, but it was raining. It was like a crazy ass rain, and we drove all the way back.
That's crazy. You drove. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, my stepson had a car, and you know what? You know what? I tell you what's great. I got to drive in Japan.
Oh, it's nuts. That's awesome.
I got to drive to Japan. We went to get the rent. We rented a car on the military base, right. And it was like a couple blocks away. But he's like, "Hey, George, I'm going to need you to drive my car back to the house." So first of all, Japan is like England, bro. They got the freaking steering wheel on the other side. So I'm like, make a left. I'm like turning every time I'm thinking I'm hitting the blinker. I'm turning on the freaking wipers. Yeah, it was a blast.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's rough. It still to this day, occasionally, I'm like, yeah. Did a road trip with my dad. And we're saying like open containers. Like I was in the passenger seat because I didn't have a license at the time, so I was just drinking and just watching. Every time he did it, I was like, drink. And he's just like gripping the steering wheel every single time.
God, that whole time I kept messing around. I told my wife to film me. You know what I'm saying? She's like, stop it. She's like, pay attention. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, but this is great. This is gold, girl. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. We have Dakota live. We're streaming live today. It is 8:32. Dakota's joining us. He's promoting his Kickstarter project.
Oh, Razor 13 giving it up for Razor Comics giving it up for Charon 13 down there. Yes, Charon 13 out of trouble. My boy, Judah Rad's project. That's who I'm working on this with.
Yeah, Razor says the Hunter is the latest project from Trouble Studios. The folks who brought to you
Charon. I said Charon.
Okay, so
Charon 13.
I had a girlfriend named Sharon, though. Charon.
Yeah, no. Can't believe I messed that up. I feel so bad. Judah, my boy, I'm so sorry. Charon 13. That's how you say it.
Charon 13, written and illustrated by Dakota Alexander.
I did not do Charon 13. I have done pinups in Charon 13. But Charon 13, there's 2 issues out. If I'm going to give a quick plug out to that. Issue 2 is being mailed out as we speak. So to all those backers and everyone who supported the Kickstarter, thank you so much for that. Your books are on their way. All your rewards are on their way. The first issue was illustrated by her name is Alessandra, and oh man, she's Italian and she's got like an amazingly beautiful last name that I cannot remember for the life of me. And then the second one is illustrated by a guy named Nico. Man, I should just get my book out of this. Either way, they're both illustrated by 2 incredible artists. And Judah is the writer for both of them. That's his baby. So for anyone who's ever supported Charon 13, thank you so much.
Awesome. That's good, man. Congrats. I love it. I love it when people got projects going on and people work collab. What's the word? We got to collab, right? We got to collab. Yeah, let's collab. Or what's the other one? Link me up, baby. Link me up. You know? So you got to learn the terminology, man. Somebody wrote. I was doing some stuff for one of the Comic Cons here, and one of the guys in charge of the press, I guess, because I was involved with the press pass. He started writing. He wrote "Link me up," and I was like, "Link me up? What does that mean? Does he want my YouTube channel? I already sent that stuff in. You know what does link? I had to like literally look up on the internet slang. What does "link me up" mean?
Dictionary, yeah. What does it mean?
Just like let's link up, let's hook up. Like here's my business card. Give me your info. Yeah. Send me a link. Send me a link to your shit you're producing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So for us, it would be hit me up.
Hit me up. Yeah. Yeah. Hit me up. was no.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's different. No, it's. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
Yeah, there was no. There was no. It's the modern times, so there was no wink,
Right.
wink at the end. But
That's right. That's right. That's right.
hey, you're watching 757 Hustle Show. Once again, we got Dakota live with us all the way from Japan. Dakota's promoting his Kickstarter called The Hunter. It's a comic book coming out, and so what's your role on The Hunter? What is? Before I'm going to bring it up, I'm a little kid. I want a comic book. Tell me a story. What's The Hunter?
Do you want me to talk to you like you're a little kid?
It depends what voice you use. I've had a lot of bad experiences as a little kid.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do we go there? All right. What is the okay? So there's two ways to look at this as far as like what the Hunter Project is. The Hunter Project, if you look at its bare bones and its story, the Hunter Project is it's superhero horror. It's like fighting monsters. You're gonna get like every 2 issues, you're gonna get a story with like a different kind of monster and like a different, it's gonna start and end, and it's that monster coming in. We're gonna fight it. We're gonna defeat it. And then the next couple issues, we're moving on to the next monster and the next monster. And it's just like comics tended to be, where it was the villain of the week. This is the monster of the week. That's how we're doing it. What we are bringing in terms of the monsters, though, the monsters are not necessarily going to be like your standard fare. We're going to try and bring in like monsters from other cultures, because I'm a big fan of folklore. I love folklore and the idea of cryptids and things like that, especially like lesser known, creatures of the night kind of stuff like that. So I'm bringing that to the party, and hopefully, some people are going to be introduced to some really, really cool creatures. That's what we're looking for. The Hunter himself, he is very much like Ghost Rider, in the sense that you have a guy, and you got this spirit, this spirit of vengeance. In this case, it's the god of the hunt, takes over the body, and he just goes to work, and he's a badass. But the one difference is that imagine if you had Ghost Rider going on, but the guy whose body, like the 90s Ghost Rider, Dan Ketch, he's still in there, and he's able to talk via the thoughts with the hunter, or rather Hearn, the god who is possessing the body. Just like, the Ghost Rider is really Zarathos and Dan Ketch together. That's what's going on there. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a little internal dialogue going on from time to time, which will be great, give you exposition, when you need it. They're kind of like a buddy cop in a way, but you don't really see them talking all the time.
Nice. Does the Hunter have already like a main, you said, monster of the week and stuff like that, but is the Hunter going to have his Joker? Is the Hunter going to have like his Green Goblin, his main arch?
I nominate. You?
If this Kickstarter goes well, I nominate myself to be
the villain.
Yeah, I have a.
Okay.
We'll workshop some stuff. I got some back burner. I can't draw. I can write, but I can't draw.
So. At the moment, big plan was always to just, it's like, we're working on that. You know what it is? It's supernatural, right? They're out there, they're hunting the monster, but they got the underlying subplot, right? So there's something else going on in the background. That's kind of what this is going on.
Yeah. For those who don't know, right? It's a Kickstarter. I'm going to bring up the Kickstarter information. Yes, Razor. Yes, I'm getting into it. I'm getting to it right now. So this is what caught my attention. It's not. I've seen many Kickstarters. I've seen many. Projects. I support. And when I can support them physically and financially, I try. And or just like this. What got me about your freaking project was, it comes on paper, right? It comes on inked paper.
Yeah, newsprint. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes on newsprint. So for those who love holding, first of all, the art is so, I guess, retro. What do you contribute? I mean, the style of the panels and everything, the artwork. Would you say that's like it paying homage to that time frame?
It's absolutely geared to feel in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s aesthetic.
That
I am,
newsprint,
yeah.
yeah, where you can see like the little dots and everything. That was awesome. Where it wasn't like like the bright, sharp '90s. So, yeah, Razor Comics says the Hunter will be printed on newsprint and will feature all the hallmarks of a comic book that could have been released in 1981, included period-specific ads. So not only you're printing it on paper, you're making, I guess, the original
Yep.
ads, same ads,
Yep.
or whatever. Yeah, man, that's cool. So you get that feel. So you'll actually have that feel. You're flipping through the comic book, and you got the ad and stuff, and the feel in your hands. That's all tangible, man. That's going to be a big thing, man. When the world ends, the Hunter will be in Razor's hands in Arizona, and he'll be like, "What do you do, comic book gurus?" And he'll be like, "I got this. I got this." So that blew me away, man. That blew me away. I was like, man, this looks amazing. I'm gonna bring up the Kickstarter. Is this your first Kickstarter project?
Oh man, it's my first doing anything like this. I've never done interiors. I never tried to do a comic book at any point in my life.
So dope. Razor Comics says so dope. Reminds me of Hip Hop Family Tree.
Right on.
Yeah. So let me bring this up over here. So this is some of your artwork right here.
Yeah, this is kind of back in the day now. This is almost 10 years old.
This is 10 years old?
Some of it, yeah, some of it.
Oh my God, bro. Look at this. What do you call this style again? I remember you mentioned it to me.
The style would be called ukiyo-e. And that is the woodblock printing style that happened in the early to mid 1800s, but it was generally telling stories that had happened in the earlier feudal era of Japan.
Oh, nice. Fuck yeah. Is that the Champions? Is that Hercules?
That was a commission. A guy came up to me. He's like, "Do the Champions of Los Angeles." And
Look at this.
I'm like, "You're crazy, bro." All right.
That is awesome, bro. That is so different and unique. Hey, we got a question in the comments.
That's the invaders down there.
We got a question. One collection down says, being in Japan, did you get into any Japanese comics? If so, did any of them inspire you?
I would not say that I was inspired by any Japanese comics, but considering like what I'm doing now, it's not really the same thing, and what I'm doing as on the screen wasn't really the same thing. So I wouldn't say I was inspired in that respect, but I did read manga. I read manga in the States. I collected Crying Freeman and like Lone Wolf and Cub, and I had friends who had manga, and they have a lot of manga over here as well. So I was a fan of very specific artists too. Manga, man, it's like when people are like, "I like manga," it's like saying I like TV. There's so much, and it's all so different that it's like, okay, you got to learn, you got to narrow it down. What
do
does
you
that
like
mean?
TV? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do like TV. Would you like to ask me a more specific or defining question with that? Because you know what I'm saying, like, I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, like I was a big fan of Lone Wolf and Cub, especially, and the reprints that we had, Dark Horse was putting them out. They're about that big on these like little, like thick little books, just wonderful reads and stuff.
This is awesome, bro. This is Dr. Doom right here, man. This yeah. When you first sent this to me, I was like, holy wow, this is awesome, man. You got the katana there and everything. This is badass, man. That's good stuff. Bro.
So you were talking to me about like Japanese earlier and stuff, and I was wondering if you were going to like talk about this. So like a lot of the cases, like we have a lot of text on there. So this is what this translates to is the Lord of Iron, Tetsuno Denka. And in a lot of these cases, what I would do is I would take a character, I'd do the art, and I'm like, okay. At the time, ukiyo-e always had like a title or text putting on there with the image, because it was oftentimes a story. And so I had to translate and figure out, what to call these characters, that sounded like it was of the time period and stuff. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And you said this was like 10 years ago?
Maybe less, maybe about 9. I started about 2016 and went to about 2020 with a couple after that. But around the time of COVID, I kind of moved over into doing regular comic book stuff because I was getting a lot of commission work for it. I started doing work for some other people's comic books, Kickstarter projects. Yeah.
This is my favorite samurai thing. This is awesome. Have you ever been to the samurai match?
Oh yeah, the sumo match. Oh yeah, love it. Great time.
When we were in Yokohama or Osaka, it was I guess it's seasonal. It was when we were there. They didn't have any while I was there, but I was like right outside of the front watching the billboards they had up front. It was amazing. Man, this is awesome. I love this. It's clobbering time. Look at that. What do you got? What does it say here for the thing?
Ishino. What was that? Ishino. It's not Zuna. It's not Vicky. We went with something kind of small for that one. I want to say maybe it's Ishino Zuna. Let me show that real quick. It's like Okazuna. It's like
it's clobbering time, bitches.
It's a high level sumo wrestler.
Pierre Kelly just jumped in. Yeah, he said earlier. He says Pierre Kelly's asking again. Any manga? Right, manga? Am I saying that right? Manga. Any manga?
You can say manga. Well, it's fine.
Yeah. Any hey manga? Any manga or anime that you had to be inspired by? I guess it's the same thing. Just any of the Japanese. I guess this is inspiration. I mean, this didn't just pop into your head. You had to see something and be like, okay, a samurai will look like this,
Well, for sumo and stuff like, what's going on here, I was inspired by a lot of the ukiyo-e masters and stuff like that. So like the Utagawas. Utagawa was kind of like a clan. It was more like if you joined up with like these people and you apprentice, you'll take on their last names. And so, like Utagawa 3, Utagawa 2 and stuff like that. Some of the old school hand drilling tattoo artists, what they call teibori. They'll take on the names like the Horiyoshis. That's what they'll do. So the Utagawa's what was his name? Gekko Ogata, Tsukioka. What was his first name? Man, I'm so out of it. I haven't done this in a while. So, I'll tell you right now. Since I ended up doing like a bunch of other comic work, I didn't have the time to do the ukiyo-e stuff. It just takes so long, and you have to you design everything, and so I was just getting so much work that I just kind of went on indefinite leave. The last thing I did was an ukiyo-e Alpha Flight. That was a commission, and I was like, it was awesome, but I was like, dude, I'm burnt. I gotta step back.
Who's is it in locals commissions, international? I mean, like
international.
Awesome.
Always people. Usually in America, Canada, sometimes I think the UK, Australia.
So I got the Kickstarter up. So this is the Hunter. Okay, so this is what we're here for. This is now that we got to know him, right? We got to know him. My man was a drummer. My man went to Japan. My man was doing things. He's reading comic books since he was a kid. He started drawing. Got a kid. He's always creating. This is cool. So now you're here talking to me. I don't know why. The 757 Hustle Show. One collection down. Are you currently collecting comics? Are there shops that carry American comics?
There are, but it's real few and far between. There was a shop that was nearby, and it was basically a closet. It was rough.
Everything is like a closet.
No, man. I mean, this guy was kind of a hoarder too, so it was just all kind of thrown in there.
Yeah.
So I would go in, and it was musky. It was rough. But I would go in there and I was just like, all right, And I was like climbing on things, moving things around, just going through.
But those are the best, bro. Those are the best. when you
It
find
is, but yeah, it was rough.
yeah, when you find stuff. So we got the Kickstarter up. I put the link in the description. It's down there before. So if you want to go for yourself, take a look. So I got to tell you, you hit your pledge, right? Your original pledge was for 2,000. You way hit your pledge, and I could see why. And all right, here we go. The Hunt is the latest project from Trouble Studios. The folks who brought to you Charon 13. Written and illustrated by Dakota Alexander, visionary artist whose work appeared in titles including Grendel and The Masters. This superhero horror comic offers a one-way ticket to a world of myth and monsters, inspired by 80s Marvel comics such as Moon Knight and as well classic horror cinema. The Hunter delivers compelling mix of super heroics, mythology, and of course, wall-to-wall action. The Hunter will be printed on newsprint and will feature all the hallmarks of a comic book that could have been released in 1981, including period-specific ads. Yes, you're paying for commercials. You're paying for retro commercials, baby, on paper.
It's all part of it, man. You can't not have the ads. You got to have the ads.
The story follows Stephen Conrad, a writer and cultural anthropologist, right?
Apologist.
Thank you. What's that? I missed that
cultural
one.
Anthropologist. Oftentimes, cultural anthropologists, they deal with the more specific aspects of certain kinds of culture, especially in anthropology. They'll be dealing with the history of that culture.
Anthropology. Okay, I got it.
More importantly, probably the folklore.
Yeah, say that 5 times. Yeah, I know that one got me, Razor, live. That one got me live. I was like, anthro what? And also all you heard was
anthropology.
Yeah. Was okay. Steven has a little secret. Some might say it's a dark secret. He's occasionally possessed by the god Hearn. What culture is that from?
Britain.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Look at that. We got a guy from California in Japan writing about British mythology, transforming into a fearsome monster, hunting a vigilante known as the Hunter. As Stephen balances his personal life with supernatural calling, he battles nightmarish creatures while grappling with the cost of his double life. That is awesome, bro. This looks so retro. Look at that. We cover A, cover B. I'm not going to go through all the tiers. This is for you guys to preview. Look at this. I remember these ads like yesterday. Hold on. I think I got a retro.
If you, so George, I sent you a JPEG of that ad. If you want to throw it up on the screen real quick, and people can take a quicker look.
Oh yeah, here it goes. Look at that.
There is something that's very important that I need to let people know.
Warning.
If you look at the name of the company, look at the name of the company.
All right, bro, I gotta put my glasses on.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I got them on.
All right.
Where am I looking at? Up top? Trouble. Yes, Trouble. That's the name of the comic book company you guys have, right?
So what I'm doing is I'll be putting up some of these ads, but I went looking to see the original name of the company is Olympic. And man, I went and did a search, and it's like, it's kind of around, maybe not. And I'm like, well, I don't want to get sued. So here's what I'm going to do. So we'll take a lot of these ads and we'll tweak them a little bit, and we'll make them all like Trouble. And then they can be parody ads. So hopefully we're not going to get sued by. But other than that, we're going to try and keep the ads like feeling as close to the original.
Yeah. You're paying an homage.
That's right. It's all about the homage, man.
It's about an homage.
What you were saying just now was like, oh man, I had that ad. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what
And look, here's a excuse me one second while I put this on camera. Here's an example. Here's an old look, this is an old comic book, right?
Oh, that was my first self quest, by the way. I would like to point that out. That's the exact first self quest I ever got.
But look at Look at the inside. It looks like the same thing he's selling. In what year are we in? 2025?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know why? It's because you're in Japan and you're coming in from the future, and Japan has everything ahead of us. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna even ask you how you're getting this done because I don't want to. Because I want this to work for you. You know what I'm saying? I want this to work for you. Once it works for you, then I'll ask, hey, how'd you do that thing? How'd you do that? But this is great. Hey, we're going down on this Kickstarter. Look at his artwork, man. So okay, so you're drawing all this?
I'm drawing it, I'm coloring it, I'm lettering it, I'm writing it. It is all me. Everything. Now, I'm not editing it. That's my boy Judah. Judah's editing it. And then when it's done and it's ready to go, Judah's like the muscle getting this thing into production, though. So when I use the word we, it's Judah and I are making this happen. And Judah, he made the video that you see in the beginning of the Kickstarter. He edited a bunch of the footage from the book, put that together. He organized the Kickstarter too. He has been absolutely integral in this happening.
This is great. This is great. So what's the goal with the Hunter? You got to like you have a story arc in mind, or this is just gonna okay, yes. you got a story. Okay, awesome.
I got a story, and I've got about 15 issues planned out with what I'm gonna do.
Razor says real bronze age, copper age feel to it. Yeah, man. That's why I said I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this, and I got to let people know about this because it's like this is mad. I'm excited about this. You know, I mean, I get excited about a lot of stuff, but this is like, you know, I did my hair for you. That's how excited I am. For Razor, I just throw a bandana on. Razor's a good guy. These guys all in the crowd. They're all part of the comic book community. I mean, they're great people. So, you know what I'm saying? So this is cool stuff, man. So, and of course, like every Kickstarter, there's, you know, you can go on the website and see which one works for you. You got all these different packages, the Hunter package, the God package. Look at this, sold out.
Well, you know why? You know why? It's because people were like, oh, I want to sketch. And it just like, it blew up so fast. I was like, whoa, hold on.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of sketches for people. So I was like, wait a minute, wait. Let's
look at this. Dakota Alexander. Look at this. I think I've heard of that guy. The Hunter #1 is created by multi-threat cartoonist Dakota Alexander. He is responsible for the story and the script and pencils, the inks, the colors, and the letters. Based in Japan, he's been professionally creating art for 15 years. I should have read this before I spoke to you. I wouldn't have an interview. The title is Grendel. That's awesome, my brother, man. Hey, man, I wish you the best of luck. I want this to succeed. I want to see this. I want to see this eventually. Will be a movie. You never know. This is something different, and the horror theme is awesome. We says, got a dip. Have a great show. The Hunter looks awesome. The ads are great touch. Best of luck to you, Dakota. You're the man, George. Fuck that guy, George. Yes, thank you. One collection down, man.
Thank you.
Great guy. Check him out. Razor from Razor Comics says, great deal for a personalized sketch. Yeah, man. So you go on that, man. You check it out. Whatever works for you, man. Hell, even if you can't afford anything right now, just sharing it. Just sharing this link and just sharing it to other people that might be interested. $5. I'm at $4.50. I'll get there. I'll get there. But this is great, man. So you can check out the Kickstarter. I got the information in the description. Let's look at this video real quick. Look at this. Trouble Studios. I don't have the music on. I don't want to get copyrighted. New York City, 1981. Look at that.
We made the music, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So I won't get copyright. Oh, from a distance. Oh, yeah. Somebody help me, please. Oh, nice. You want to sell myself also? My name is George. I want to take the order from you.
Yep, setting that on.
New York, nice. Yeah,
had to do some homework on setting it in New York. Do a little homework there.
Nice. Hey, man, congratulations, my brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for saying yes. Everybody go out and support the Hunter Kickstarter. Look at this, man. That looks badass. I like this tune, man. You wrote the song?
No, Judah did it. And
I was
he's
about to
like,
say,
I'm just thinking about this. And I'm like, oh my God.
because that shit don't sound like no fucking ska.
Well, I've been in a lot of different bands. I've been like in a doom metal band. I've been in lots of different stuff.
Awesome. You play double bass?
Judah's the metal man. He's a metal guitarist. He's been in bands too. And he loves writing music. And the fact is, he was just like super inspired. And he's like, I'm thinking of doing this. And I'm like, oh my God. And he just slaps it together. And he's just like, I got this. And so incredible to be working with him. Very, 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 very grateful. And like I said, wouldn't have been possible without his support and partnership.
Well, once again, I wish you the best of luck, man, and I hope you stay in touch.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna see what tier I'm gonna pick, and definitely would like to keep in touch. I had a blast of a time talking to you, even before we went on stage. We were joking around, saying a lot of naughty words to each other. You know,
we kept it pretty clean here. I'm surprised.
Yeah. I am disappointed. You're not Japanese. I kept promoting it. I'll tell everybody. I was like, oh man, I got this from Japan. Fucking guy comes on with a fucking tourist thing from California, Santa Cruz. I'm like, oh.
You like that? You like that? You like that? Yeah. Go fuck yourself, all right? Yeah, like that? Yeah.
Hey, while we're live on the air, dude, throw me a shout out. Be like, hey, you're watching the 7 Fight. Now we'll do that afterwards. Stick around. Yeah, we'll do it afterwards. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody once again, Dakota. I want to thank everybody who was here tonight. Pierre Kelly, Lisa Noble, One Collection Down, Razor Comics. And for all those that weren't commenting, I know you're out there watching and listening. Hey, everybody out there, be safe, be kind, rock out, be family friendly. And don't forget to like and subscribe, support the Hunter, support everybody. The more we touch each other, the more we grow. Peace. I'll see you in a few, Hunter. I'll be right with you, man.